This 1997 original pair is finally wearable again. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official weartesters.com YouTube channel. Today I'm super excited to talk about these bad boys right here. And yes, I could do that because they are brand new, never worn originals from 1997, so no foot funk in there. And I've had these for quite a while. I actually have two pairs. One of them is right behind me over there. But I originally bought these on eBay for a really good price with the intent of restoring them myself. You know, I always overestimate the amount of time that I actually have in a day because of how busy I am running this channel. So it never happened, clearly, but I was able to find somebody on Instagram, thanks to a friend of mine. Sneaker Preservation Society actually sent over an original pair of AirTech Challenge 2s over to Restore Kicks over on Instagram. And I was so impressed with the level of detail and just what he did with the original pair of shoes, like the care and all of that stuff, that I immediately hit him up and I was like, bro, I've got a ton of originals. Can we start with these? But before we go into all the details that went into these, I do want to just give a quick backstory on the Air Jordan 12, at least the original, real quick. So the Taxi 12 was the original launch colorway, 1996. However, the white and reds was 1997. They would originally come in this style box. Now the shoe itself hasn't seen a ton of retro releases. The first one was in 2009, which is kind of crazy to think about with a brand like Jordan Brand and a brand that likes to retro things over and over and over again. This shoe's only been retroed twice. Again, the first time in 2009, and that's the pair that I actually used as donors for these guys, so that was awesome. And then most recently, they released once again, truer to original form, but is that actually true? We'll find out in 2023. And I just love this shoe. I love this colorway. I think it's fantastic. My 2009 pair, I loved because I knew what they were going for, which was these, but I didn't love them because they didn't look like these. Like the red, clearly darker, the shape, the materials, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't what I thought or what I remembered this sneaker being back in the day. However, I did play in them really heavily, and this was the pair that we used for the Air Jordan project, where we have a playlist on this channel where it's a performance review from 1 through 18. 19. I did stop at some of them because some of my other pairs are just not wearable.
I was gonna say, was it the 21 that you stopped at?
Yeah, I can't wear them anymore. They're beautiful, but like I can't. Maybe I'll do a video anyways, but you never know. But either way, these guys right here got obliterated on the basketball court. The soles started separating, all that stuff, hence me buying these. And so I really wanted to use parts from this onto here. And again, I just never got around to it. So as most of you guys know, the tech components in the Air Jordan 12 is really what makes this shoe super special. And my 09 pair, now that it's been dismantled and pieced together into this original pair, I can actually show you what's inside. So the outsole right here is really interesting. It is fairly thick for what traditional modern outsoles are all about. Now, if I was going to compare this outsole to something similar that released within the same calendar year, at least originally in 97, like this one right here from the original Jumpman Pro. The original Jumpman Pro, you can tell it's just got a little bit of extra flop to it, and the Air Jordan 12 one doesn't. So despite them being very similar shoes, especially tech for tech, very similar, if not identical, the rubber here is one of the main components as to why we call the Air Jordan 12 the tank of the Air Jordan line, or at least that's what I call it. Because these things are f***ing indestructible, dude. Like, damn near, you can wear these whenever, wherever, inside, outside, doesn't matter, and they'll last. The herringbone is great. It's an awesome performer. And if you just wanted like a visual as far as like thickness is concerned, you can see how thin this outsole is right here between the table and the top of it. And then you move that over to here. I mean, this is just way thicker, dude. It's crazy. Now, the midsole itself is lightweight Phylon, and it's actually very low sitting to the ground despite the shoes not feeling like they're low to the ground. Like, this is one of those shoes that doesn't feel like it offers court feel like the next two models, the Air Jordan 13 and the Air Jordan 14. But that's actually not the case once you break things up. Like, this midsole right here is only a few millimeters thick. It's really interesting the way that when all of these components are combined, that's where you feel like you're wearing some combat boots on a basketball court. But underneath that is a carbon fiber spring plate. Again, it's very similar to what they used on the original Jumpman Pro. Now on top of that is a full-length Zoom Air unit, and this is awesome because the one that you're seeing right here in my hands is the original from this shoe right here. What I wanted Restore Kicks to do was actually take the intact Zoom Air unit from my 09s and put them in the original. That way they'd actually have some cushion in there. Usually when you get shoes restored and the Air units are like this, so if you wanna, or actually let me get my phone again, it's easier to show you that way. So you could just see that, right? Like this Air unit is not intact anymore. This one has not crumbled or anything, but it's definitely fallen apart. So the plastic just doesn't last. If you've ever wondered what's inside of Zoom Air, that's it. It's a bunch of tensile fibers, and they are sandwiched between nylon plates or, you know, panels. So there's a full nylon panel on the top and bottom with these little tensile fibers in between. And then they fill that airbag up with air, obviously, and it makes those tensile fibers lock into place and stuff like that. So when you squish on them, they deflect the energy back. But either way, there's the cavity right there. And again, here's the original Air unit. And yeah, it does fit perfectly inside there. So that's one of the cool things when we complain about like, oh, it's not like the original, like the Zoom Air, full length at least, from 1997 all the way through today. It's the same. Now, one of the components that is usually never fully intact on original pairs, it's very rare, and that's the Jumpman tab. Like that thing is just, I don't know where it went, but it's gone. And that's exactly how it looked on this other pair too. It was just like this one, every time I touch it, like another piece of it falls off. So I was like, this is already expensive enough and I don't want to spend more money, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to get replacement tabs, because that'll cost you another 30 to 50 bucks depending on where you go. I was like, dude, just take them off of my 09s and put them on the originals and we'll be good to go. And that's exactly what he did. It looks awesome. Now the upper is where things really start to take a turn, at least in my opinion, not just in the overall shape, which is a huge reason why I wanted these originals restored, but just the materials alone. You know what I mean? Like the materials are just not what they used to be. So right here in the middle, this is the original pair. You can see how thick this leather is. And even after all of these years, it's still really nice. Like this stuff is just, it just doesn't get any better than this. Even the material on the tongue is actual leather. You know what I'm saying? Like this is really awesome. Now this is the 09 pair, obviously, and that is vinyl. So this is a synthetic coating. Like look at the difference between this and that. Like this looks like fake leather, obviously, because it is, and that is genuine. And even if you were to look at the edging right here, it's super thin, dude. Like these are tiny, tiny cuts compared to this thick, glorious bastard. And then when you move over to the modern pair, the 2023 release, you can see that they went back to using leather on the tongue, which is awesome. So this is why I say that this shoe is truer to the original than ever before. So it's not a bad release. It's just still not like this one. It's not close enough for me. And even the leather that they make up with the rest of the upper, again, it's pretty thick. It almost looks the same. You know what I mean? Like obviously one's a little bit older, but it's almost the same thickness, but it doesn't wear the same. That's the main thing. Like I don't know what this is. Like, why is there a big ass hump right there? But one of the coolest parts about taking stuff like this apart is that you can see that it is actual leather. So even though this upper right here is nowhere near as premium as the original, it's nowhere near as thick or as nice or any of that stuff, it is still leather. It's just not the same. You know what I'm saying? So am I complaining? No, it's a fact. So if that hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, but I mean, it is what it is. But what's so cool about it is that you can see what they do before bonding. So like all of this stuff where you see that it's really rough and does not look like the texture above it. When we're looking at the white portions, it doesn't even have the polyurethane coating on there. Like this is raw leather right here. And that's exactly what they have to do with leather before they bond it, because it won't stick to the polyurethane. And if it does only stick to the polyurethane, that can really peel right off. So what they do is they scrape everything around and then they literally glue it right on there, and it bonds to skin or hide much better than any of the synthetic stuff. So I think that this is really interesting when we're talking about shoes, and this is a common practice even today. I love just seeing these things taken apart. It's so cool to me that this is how shoes are made. Now, as far as the fit with an original pair, is that different than a lot of these retros? Yes. These fit much truer to size. So like when I say go true to size, this literally feels perfect. And then last but not least, these little eyelets up here are actual metal. I really wish that they would put these back on. I don't know what the reason is or the excuse that they would give as to why they keep making them in in plastic. We just saw this with those velvet breads, metal branding, metal aglets. Like, you do it. So why don't you do it? You know what I mean? Like, it's a question. You can't blame consumers for asking. It's like, why do you do it on some shit, and then why don't you on others? It's a legitimate question that is yet to be answered properly and honestly. But yeah, I absolutely love these. I think that they look great. There are some things that the originals do not do better than the new ones, and that's the backside, the tab, one of my favorite pieces of the shoe. The new tabs, like the way that stitching has been digitized, is just so much greater than what they were able to do back then. Like, you can make out the words, but it's sloppy. On the new ones though, hot damn, that's clear as day, dude. It's like looking at that in HD or 4K or whatever the you want to say. Like, it's awesome. I'm just super proud of these. I cannot wait to wear them. Like, I've wanted this shoe since '97. I was able to borrow a friend of mine's pair in high school, and he let me use them for the whole day. Sounds weird, but that's what we did back in the day. And yeah, I just I'm so excited. Like, I finally got a pair. I can put them on my feet and they're not going to fall apart. They're not going to crumble. The Zoom Air is intact. It works. So yeah, I just wanted to show these off. If you were interested in restoring anything that you have, I'll leave a link to Restore Kicks down below in the description box. Hopefully it doesn't get too busy, because I'm telling you, I have a lot of shoes. I want to do some white and red 13s. I have some original Kobe 8s, my Penny 2s, my black and royals. So yeah, I'm going to send more stuff over to them, hopefully soon, because this is not cheap. That's the one thing. Like, if you don't got money for this, just wait on it. This is an expensive thing to do because it's time consuming. But yeah, with all of that said, what is today's question of the day?
Any of the viewers who have been around for like at least a few years, they should know by now that I personally love a good theme.
Like in a shoe?
No. Well, yes, because like if you go back to our Dawn issue 1 video, it was Spider-Man theme.
Right.
And I made sure to wear my Spider-Man gear.
Okay.
And so then with our 12 days of Christmas coming up for our holiday giveaways, like whenever I'd be on camera, I would be in full-on Christmas gear. So going forward, I would really love it if people could submit holiday themed questions.
Okay.
Those are going to be
This is a big ask.
Those are going to be my question of the days. So.
Okay, so you guys hear that? She's specifically pulling for specific questions for question of the day, holiday themed only, at least through the 12 days of giveaways.
Yeah, I mean, it'll help us like gear up for it, get in the merriment. But yeah, also a reminder that the 12 days
of giveaways are coming soon.
Yes.
Like starting December 1st.
Which is like in a week.
Yeah, with that, you can only enter those giveaways by being a Discord member. The links are always in the description, just a heads up.
So with that being said, it's a two-parter. What was the best sneaker gift your wife has ever bought you as a surprise? And then for me, what was the best gift that you've ever given me?
Well, they're right over here.
It's that one?
Yeah, why? What were you thinking?
I don't know. I've surprised you with so many random shoes. I'm just...
Well, the one of them's not down here, okay? And they're low-key embarrassing.
The daddy ones?
Yeah. So
I just like how long it took you to explain to me why you wouldn't wear them.
So back in the day, Nike ID, or what's now known as Nike by You, was bitchin'. Like, they had Jordans. There was Jordan 1 Alphas, which is a basketball version of the Jordan 1. There was Always Dunks, Air Force Ones, Kobe's, and even other team Jordans like the Jumpman Pro, which most of you guys know is one of my favorite shoes of all time because it's my first shoe that I ever bought myself that was like an expensive purchase, you know what I mean? Or it was my first shoe, period. But that shoe to me is just really special, and she customized a black and purple version of them, so they looked like the originals where it was like black and red, but the red components were flipped to purple, which I thought were awesome. But on the back is where you can use your ID stuff, like put whatever, your jersey number, your name, all that stuff. And she did it because we had our first kid.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was like a Father's Day present.
Right. And so on the back of the shoe, see, it sounds embarrassing just thinking about it.
Until you pointed it out, and then I was just like, why didn't you say anything? I just thought like they're too special.
No, let me explain. On the back of the shoe, like on something like this, it's got something so special like Jordan, quality products inspired by the greatest ever, whatever it says, right? On the back of my shoe, it simply says Daddy.
I didn't know.
So anybody behind me that could read, it's like Daddy. You know what I'm saying? So that's weird. And yeah, so it was a little embarrassing. So I didn't wear them often.
You like probably wore them like a handful of times, if that.
Yeah, I played basketball in them once, and you know what I mean? But that was the last time I think I wore them because everybody on the court was like, Daddy. And I was like, whatever, man. So it was weird. And so, yeah, so I love them and they're upstairs in my room in an acrylic case, but I won't wear them because of obvious reasons. So my pick is these. This is the Kobe 8s, the originals. And this is a pair of the Nike IDs and stuff like that. Much like the first shoe, it's kid themed. So she surprised me with these after, literally like almost immediately after, like, wasn't it in the hospital?
Yeah, so like it wasn't so much with our first kid, but I also wasn't like hardcore on the internet then. But it became a thing where they were called like push presents, where the husband is supposed to surprise the wife with like a gift.
I never knew this.
Like, hey babe, you did so good, thank you. And I thought it would be a really cute idea, being like, okay, like this is our second kid, this is our last kid, like I'm gonna get you something special. Nike ID was still like a huge thing, and so I knew what your favorite Kobe was at the time, and we knew what we were naming our kids, so I was just like, I'm gonna wow him. And plus I did a gift for our daughter, being like, hey, you got a little brother, but like your little brother brought you a gift too, like. Yeah,
but yeah, on the inside of the tongues though, the left shoe has our daughter's name and then the right shoe has our son's name. On the inside it's got the 03 on there, obviously. Like I wear usually number 3 whenever I play in like leagues and stuff. You can't really see it on it because it's just, they're old and everything, but the midsole's got purple splatter paint on there, purple heel counter, Nightwing blue. It's just a really cool look, you know what I mean? Like, and nobody has this, or somebody might, but like not quite like this. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite, or if not my favorite pickups, although I do like the daddy shoes. Like that's my favorite one, which is why they're in a case, but I just can't wear them because it's kind of creepy, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know.
So yeah.
I had one that came immediate to mind. Can I say?
Why? What is it? Did I get you a daddy?
Yes. No, it's not embarrassing for me at all.
It's embarrassing. Hold on a second. Okay, go ahead. It is embarrassing, but I'll own this one because it was a dumb. I see this every day.
Yes.
And go, oh God.
He got me, and I'm sure anybody who's been on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere has seen the ads for him. But you can customize where you put your own face on a pillow
of a
like,
character.
Yes, and so he got me the Batman one, and it's his face attached to it. I just love this thing so much. I once took it on a trip.
I was going to say, she loves it so much that she left it in a hotel, and they had to ship it back with my face on it. So that was a gag gift, and turns out the joke was on me, and I was so stupid that I didn't realize until it popped out of there, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not really funny. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Anyways, with all of that being said, first off, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching and spending your time with us. I really appreciate it. On top of that, let me know what you think about these and how good of a job Restore Kicks actually did. I think you did a fantastic job. If you wanted to make a list of shoes that you actually own that you would love to get restored like this, sound off below and let me know. I'd love to know your guys' lists and things like that, especially if you got some like really slick ones, you know what I mean? Like if you got some flight pauses that are from like 1999, that'd be sick. If you got anything else, I'd like to know. So thank you so much for everything. I will catch you guys on the next one. So until then, y'all have a good one.